Massoud is one of the most fascinating people that I know. A Syrian refugee, a professional swimmer, a student studying mechanical engineering, a swim coach. There's a whole bunch of stuff that he's got under his belt at the moment, and then the last 18 months for professional athletes has been really tough. Dates have been moved for big competitions, and there's been a lack of international competitions which they use to mark progress and see how they're going with things. So sitting down and having a chat to Eyad was absolutely on my list of things I had to do for this project. So enjoy our conversation. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this video, or send it on to other people so they can have a go. Other than that, enjoy the episode.
Hey man, what's up?
Not much. This is me killing time in lockdown because I can't go out and do anything. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. I feel bad just walking around the neighborhood because I can't go out with my glasses on. They fog up when I'm wearing a mask. It's just it's just like frustrating.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, man, I'm really happy I'm living up in Coatesville. It's like a little bit of relaxed environment over here because everybody's away from each other anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So
whereas I'm 500 meters from a pizza place that's a place of interest, and my service station and supermarket are places of interest. And
wow.
I went shopping a couple of weeks ago. I got back and there was Birkenhead Countdown's closing down for a deep clean. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. It feels like, you know that scene from Shaun of the Dead where he climbs the ladder and he sees all the zombies and he comes down. It's just like, that's how it feels looking outside at the moment.
Absolutely. I caught up with a lot of people all over the place, back at home, family, extended family. Like I never talked to them.
Yeah.
And I was like just calling them up and down and be like, oh, hey guys, how's it going? Everything. So that was incredible, actually.
That's really good to see though. Like at least Zoom's making the money.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. They came out at just the right time. Everybody uses it now. It's just, it's so frustrating. Yeah.
It's magnificent, man. It's magnificent. I tell you what, if you ever get a bike, just come up to around Riverhead, because it's like local to me.
Yeah. So
I'll take the bike and go. Today we went for I think 50K on the bike. That was quite serious. Like, yeah, I can't feel from my belly button down. Everything is sore.
Yes.
I am not used to rough native New Zealand routes and stuff. Yeah.
Even then, you wouldn't be used to that motion because obviously you're not trained to have that range of motion.
No, I've been biking for 2 weeks now, which made it a little bit easier, but it's still pretty tough. I was very cautious in that transition. Yeah.
Yeah, which is fair enough. It's a beautiful place though that you're at. Like Coatesville is a beautiful part of the country.
It's amazing. It's the thing that I like about it the most is because every day is a busy day to me. You know, like you've seen my routine. You know, like twice to the pool, one to the gym, twice to uni, and then back home and cook and stuff. Like at the end of the day, I just want a place where it's quiet and I can sit down and relax and have my own space. You know what I mean? So I quit flatting, so I'm renting my own unit.
So I think it's an extra level of stress that people don't realize because you're juggling with everybody else.
Yeah. Because you're not just dealing with people, you're dealing with your own thoughts during these trainings, and you're dealing with coaches. Yes. And then you come back and you try to socialize. Like for me, I have to call my mom and dad back home. And then you got to tell them, oh, everything is going fantastic and stuff like that, and come up with like good stories. So at the end of the day, you just want to be like, you know what? I just want to put Netflix on, watch something funny. I'm into 2.5 Men right now, and it's cracking me up. It's brilliant. Yep. So that's basically what I get through, or the things that makes me go through.
How long ago did you move before lockdown?
I've been living around here for about a year now.
Okay, so you sort of you knew if you needed the lockdown time alone, you had it.
Yeah. I invested in a couple of gym equipments as well. I bought them and they arrived, so that was kind of a motivation to me and be like, "Ooh, I got my own gym." So
if anything does go wrong, I'm sorted.
Exactly. Yes. I wouldn't go crazy because it's kind of unsafe. You would need sometimes a spotter and stuff, but I would still keep myself entertained, you know.
It keeps your fitness level up, which is the important thing.
Yeah. To be quite honest with you, Paul, once you move into a lockdown or a disturbance of that, the most important thing you want to maintain is your training routine. Like, you get up in the morning and you do your workout, and then you go back and you have some rest, blah, blah, blah. You're trying to maintain that as much as you can, okay, in your transition.
Obviously, part of your training routine uses water, which you don't have nearby at the moment.
Yes, so that's where the impact comes in. Like, a lot of people would go like running and flat out. For me, I tried that in the first lockdown, and it broke me. Like 3 weeks in, I started having some serious problems, because you want to maintain like kind of training session of the same period, but you're doing it with a very high impact on your joints. So that's why bike is a little bit more conventional for me, because it has less impact. And it's kind of, you kind of can stay on for a very long time without hurting yourself badly.
I think a lot of people forget that. When you're a swimmer, you are obviously, it's low impact because your body is supported in the water, but it's high pressure to your body. Like, you're obviously working it really hard. Then you go to a flat, hard surface that doesn't move. That's going to have a major effect.
No, yes, absolutely, Exhibit A, right here. I was very unhappy after like 3 weeks, and I called my coach. I was like, "Hey, listen, I'm quitting. I'm not doing this. I can go for walks. I can like hustle walking, but running, no. And mostly it was bike. And then when I moved into my new place, my landlord has a small pool, which was perfect for some deep water running and stuff. And that was more than enough for me to just keep stay interested and stay around water and stuff. Because for me now it's winter, so I can't use it. And I started feeling like I'm missing the water, missing that feeling. You know, there's a couple of things that you focus on while on the bike. You're just on the bike looking forward. And you got 2-3 things going on, and that's it.
So if you got one of those fancy bikes with the screens up front, and it's like you're going out into nature and doing all these huge bike rides.
I don't like that. I'm not into that. Unfortunately, I use my imagination. Like, usually when I'm swimming, most of my training sessions, I have my eyes closed.
Which is actually a rarity. Most swimmers I know swim with their eyes open.
I know, yes, because I just zone out. Like, pain is here, I'm here. You know what I mean? Whatever pain you're trying to push, I'm still up higher than it. I'm still thinking about a dream, some sort of inspirational thing that I want to do, another version of myself that is actually very successful and that I want to get to, you know what I mean? So that keeps you going in your training. So I try to apply that over here, and it works with me. It works with me well.
That's the important thing. Did you find after the last lockdown, getting back into the water was a challenge? Like how your body reacted? Because it was 6 weeks last time, I think, between when you got out of the pool.
It was 7 weeks the first time.
It might have been, Like it was a really solid chunk of training time. How did your body react to having to go back into the water?
At that time, I did not miss 1 day of training for 3.5 years before it.
Wow.
So a 7-week break, that I needed that. That got me to actually get back into swimming, and I was like very excited about it. And for my buddy, we actually took it a little bit easy. And we were kind of pushing on the limit, you know what I mean? So if there was anything, I'll tell my coach, hey, listen, I started feeling bad, or like my body's just tired, I want to sleep more and stuff like that. And we'll take it easy for a couple of days and then pick it up again. But overall, I think I needed that at that time. And once you keep your mindset on that this break is actually going to do me good, then it doesn't matter what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once you come back, you still believe that, oh, that was actually excellent.
Yeah. Did it feel like that at the time?
I'm ready to go.
When you're suddenly told, look, you can't do this. Did you sit there going, well, this is an opportunity? Or did you sit there going,
I thought about it immediately as an opportunity. Cool. Because, as I said, 3.5 years, and I wasn't getting much breaks. So I needed that break. So I was like, it doesn't matter how long it lasts. I'm sure once I get back, there's a lot of things that I could focus on. And, when you're starting over a shorter distance and you're building, it's so much easier to get new habits in, like good habits in your training. So I actually endorsed a couple of good habits, and that helped me train even better. So right now I'm doing the same thing. I'm thinking, I actually wrote down a couple of things that I want to do, distribute them well, discussed it with my coach. He's heavy about it. And once we get back, I want to stick to it.
So your coach is actually pretty flexible, isn't it? If you bring ideas to the table, he's quite well known for sitting down and listening to those ideas.
There's most of the time. Area of flexibility.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a big area, but I know how to target it. Yeah.
As I say, I've seen your coach lose his temper once or twice thinking about it. But yeah, from what I've heard is that he's usually pretty flexible. If you can argue, like if you've got a good reason for it, like he's happy as long as you've got a logical reason for it. But
that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. He keeps me on my toes the whole time.
But that's a good thing. You want a coach who does that.
Of course, yes. Yes. He does not hold back. Like I was talking to him and I was expressing myself a little bit, and he was like, "Oh, that's enough. That's enough expressing. You just passed the line of expressing to whinging. I don't like that." So he actually immediately, I had a decent one, and he was right. You just don't notice it sometimes, especially with like a lot of pressure would be on you as an athlete that would try to balance your professional life as a swimmer, professional life as an engineer.
Yeah.
For myself. And that kind of creates different type of pressure. So you kind of mix problems with each other. And that's what I struggle with sometimes, is like separate this from that. Okay, why do I feel this way? It's because of this, not because of that. You know what I mean? So for him, he's more like a friend to me. So I would come and chat to him about it. But immediately when he feels like something's going to affect the training, the coach hat comes in. And like, hey, no, watch out. We have known each other for about 5 years now to know, for me to trust him completely, and for
you've
him
got
to
a
know
shorthand.
What I'm like.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's definitely a good thing in a coach. So how many hats are you wearing at the moment? So you've obviously got your swimming career. You've got your engineering career, still at school and working.
Correct. So that's great.
Swim school, still teaching?
Yes, swim school, teaching and supervising.
Yep. Ambassador?
Yeah.
The ambassador role?
Yes. For the refugee picture, as someone who got displaced and doing his best to excel in life and do everything the best I can, and as well being a good friend and being a good son to my parents. I think I don't really
that's
care
a
much
lot
about
of
my
hats.
brother. He's,
I'll cut
he's
that
a bit
bit
of a pain. Oh, put it in by all means. He knows it. I tell him that all the time. I'm actually very excited about it because I applied to sponsor him and I just got accepted. I'm very excited to have him over with his wife. He's my only sibling, and we get along well. I mean, we have a little bit of a banter between us, but
I think all brothers are the same. I'm the same with mine when I talk to him. Yeah. Like if I talk to him. You've got to have that banter, otherwise it makes things really tedious.
Absolutely, yes.
You don't
Absolutely,
want that.
yes. So during the day, you would know exactly what type of hat you're putting on and what sort of personality you want to have, because you don't want to be that grumpy person that one thing happened in the morning would let it affect your whole day.
Oh, yeah. And I can imagine if you're sitting there teaching kids to swim, you don't want to be the grumpy person that they don't want to talk to.
Not.
And
Absolutely
obviously
not.
water's got the safety issue involved with it as well. So you have to make sure that they
Yes,
feel safe.
yes. I'm a big fanatic of teaching the kids to love the water, like not to love me as a person. I want you to love the water, and I want to show you how you can be so good at it. That's my objective as a teacher, and I think I got it from really good teachers that I had in my days. Um, and they really convinced me that I'm actually brilliant in this paper or brilliant in this skill, and I believed it, and I actually did very well. And I think that's kind of the most important thing as a teacher, that you realize that, and that's what I find it with David as well. Him being as my own teacher, and he's trying to push me and believe in me more, sometimes more than I believe in myself.
Do you find that I found it with the swimmers that I've worked with that that swimmers are very introspective anyway, because they're head down in the water all the time. They're in their own thoughts all the time, that they can get inside their heads a little bit too much and can really be hard on themselves quite a bit. But at the same time, you're doing something physical that releases the endorphins and makes your body feel better and stuff like that. Do you find it hard to juggle that? And do you know that, like, do you notice with David sort of picking it up from the outside that you're getting inside your own head too much? Or how do
you can tell. I didn't believe that you can tell until I started coaching here in New Zealand, because I didn't know some of the rules and stuff before I met David, and I was already a swim teacher before that. But I only noticed these things that he would tell me, oh, you're doing this and that, and you're getting in your head too much at this point or this type of training, until I started coaching and trying to apply something similar to what I'm doing and see the kids. And you can actually tell easily that, oh, this kid, okay, stop on the side, take a couple of seconds. Hey, listen, this is what you're feeling like, and that's how you should do it. So it became a little bit more obvious to me. So when I went back to my training, I was like, all right, David, let's do it right this time. And we'll go and do something, like really great in training. So yeah, we only have actually to race a little bit more than we did in the past year and a half.
That's got to throw in everybody. Like I the tryouts leading up to the Olympics, and the number of swimmers that I was seeing that were just, I don't know how we're going to go. Like I just haven't been in the water to be able to judge it. Haven't had the competitions to be able to mark progress going through. That must have been a really hard situation to find yourself in. Not just you, the whole community.
It's yes, you're absolutely right. You need to know, you need that kind of boost to your confidence, and you need that competition to learn something new from it. How do I improve on my racing? And you can't do that by just doing trials, even against your teammates and stuff like that. You would need some foreign competition, standing on the diving blocks, people around, the whole environment. To me personally, I did not have that before I come to New Zealand. I only had one competition a year or two competitions a year.
Oh wow! Why
and
was
I would
that?
swim 3 times. Oh, there was a lot of reasons.
Okay.
There was a lot of reasons. Yes. One of them was because I wasn't allowed to participate in certain competitions.
Was there a logical reason for it, or was it a political
Not
reason?
really.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would have been incredibly frustrating.
It was, and it takes off the understanding of how important it is to race. So I did not get that until I went to Dubai a couple of times, and then I saw David, and I was like, well, I would want to go to New Zealand. How can we make that happen? And when I came here the first time, I was very fascinated. So I got excited about going back in there again. And guess what? The second time I came here, I did 8 PBs in 10 races.
Wow.
So that,
well done.
And I know, I did not know I can swim 50 breaststroke under 30 in my whole life. That was actually brand new. But you see what I mean? Like, it's actually, racing is really essential.
Yeah.
As a part of your training and your preparation for a major event. And I hope we can get it right this time and prepare for it for next year.
Were you involved in the competition that got cancelled because of this lockdown? Were you competing for that one?
Yes, I was actually at the venue at that time.
What was the reaction there?
I don't know much about the people. I think a couple of coaches got their swimmers in and did time trials immediately.
Yep.
Which I think that was good because they were preparing for their races at that point, and they were already tapered. The rest of them, actually, overall, it was a little bit disappointing because people paid money and put effort and organized and stuff like that, and
traveled from all over the country for it.
Yes, exactly. So I mean, I was lucky enough that I'm living here and not far away from the pool, so it wasn't that hard on me. But I was disappointed with it because I was really looking forward to getting in, tackle a couple of races, and see how far I can.
Did you get to race before they pulled the plug?
No, that was the night I was racing.
Oh no!
That was half an hour before my race.
Oh man, that's terrible timing.
It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. I've learned this one in New Zealand here. It is what it is.
To be honest, I had a boss when I was running a cinema that used to say it all the time. Like you'd bring something up and you're like, oh, the cinema's leaking from the roof, or there's a fire that's.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It's like that doesn't help me. Like it does. That gives me no feedback to work with or a direction to go in. It sounds defeatist. But you're right, though. You can't do anything without. Yeah.
No, you absolutely can't.
At the same time that competition was on, the Olympics was happening, weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes.
That must have been. I'm just sort of thinking, because I haven't been up to the pool myself in about 6 months now. The emotions that would be out there when you're watching people compete, and like people like Lewis, for example, which you obviously know. Getting up there and there's the possibility of a medal and this kind of thing, and that sort of amped up emotion, then mix that in with a lockdown. That's a hell of a roller coaster.
Yes, and I know maybe for Lewis, because he's also involved with the ISL, so that would kind of maybe affect his competition schedules as well with them. And I met up with Lewis before he went to Tokyo, and he was very excited about it, and he knew he would have to come back here to quarantine 2 weeks, but it was kind of keeping him saying that he would get out and go to the short course nationals, and then that didn't happen as well. So he went out from a lockdown or quarantine into a lockdown.
That's right. I know Karina did the same thing. She was sort of walking out going,
exactly.
Okay.
For people who are watching it, I was talking to Chris Elson. He's one of the guys down in Christchurch that I made a really good friend with in Blenheim, and we were chatting away, and we were like, what are we going to do now? And he was like, I was so excited to race you. I was like, I left you off the hook this time. But next time, we need to get it right. So I think that kind of environment and friendship and sportsmanship really helps keep you motivated and keep looking forward, because that's what you want to do. It's not optimum that you stop at this time,
of course,
or at this stage for this long. However, you can't just sit down and cry about it. You just need to get the best outcome and look and get excited about the future.
Any of the other swimmers that are just like, screw it, I've had enough, I'm not going to come back?
I think there's one of them, and I think there's another one on the edge, like
on the fence there.
On the fence.
Yeah, because the last 2 years has been very difficult to keep that pace up.
It has. It definitely has, and it did affect quite a lot of people for their goals, because there was the ISL drafting, happening, and like a couple of people were actually aiming for it and wanted to go. And I think delaying your goals for 6 months more, it comes as a hit.
Yeah.
And it takes a little bit out of you. So yeah, for me, I would take a couple of days off, or like 2-3 days to just put everything into perspective and be like, okay, well, how do I get myself motivated again? What is my motivation? Because if I'm not motivated, it doesn't really matter what about the people around me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I need to be there. I need to be absolutely active and on point and ready to go. And I know why, because I want to achieve this goal. So that's how I push myself forward. So yeah, I try my best to have a chat to people about it, and bring that optimistic side of it and see if it works. And I hope it works, because being involved in swimming is such a beautiful sport. And I hope they just give it a shot.
So have you ever got to that point where you're like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore?
Quite a couple of times, but it wasn't because of the lockdowns. It's always a constant reminder when things get harder. You kind of tend to take the easy way out, and then you just got to remind yourself, like, no, that's not who I am. That's not what I do. That's not what I want. And what I want is this.
Which is good. Is he the longest period of time that you've had a coach for, like an individual coach?
Yes, I have had 15 coaches before that.
Wow. That's a lot of coaching.
That was the situation I was in. That's why it's a little bit different for me to everybody else around here. That's why it's kind of frustrating for me to compare myself to people the same age as myself, because I have missed a lot. I've missed on the races, on the coaching, on the experience, on a lot of things. And right now I'm trying to make up for it. And the thing that I want to do differently this year or next year is travel overseas and compete overseas. I think I do need that desperately in my training.
When was the last time you competed overseas?
Since I came here.
Oh, have you not?
About like 4 years ago.
Oh, wow. That is a long time not to have international competition like that.
It took me 2 years to, sort out my immigration status.
Okay.
And then after that, COVID hit.
You just had all the luck in the world when it came to getting overseas.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It's not the sort of thing you can plan around, obviously, but it must be incredibly frustrating to sort of sit there going at everything that was possible.
Yep. Or you can take the bike and go for a ride and enjoy it, and come back with a smile. I think I would take the second one every time.
That's a very good outlook. Now, engineering.
Yes.
What got you into engineering? Because it's a very specialized field. It's obviously not for everybody. It's not something I could do.
Okay, well, the story is I come from a very, I don't know how to express this, but my parents are very, dreamy for me. It's not dreamy. It's more like they want us the best. Like they want us to be the best. Me and my brother go and be a doctor. You have to study. Your education is everything. I graduated from high school. I was ahead of my class, and I graduated with like, I think 99% at that time. I was the only one in school to score full marks in 3 papers all through high school. I'm quite a nerd. And next to that, I was doing a little bit of swimming at that time. So once I graduated, things went a little bit south with the whole Syria situation. Couldn't go to Syria to study uni. Couldn't study uni in Saudi for the first year. So I went to Turkey. I lived there for 7 months. I learned Turkish, tried to apply for things. Anyways, bottom line, I wanted to go for medicine, med school, but that didn't happen. So I was like, well, I can do well in everything. Whatever you put me in, I'll just figure it out. So I looked around, and I was very interested in marine engineering.
Mm-hmm.
In Saudi. So I started studying marine engineering 4 years in, when I actually had to drop it and come over here as a better opportunity for my life. And then when I came here, part of that engineering environment that I was in and the whole experience that I got from them, it was very obvious that there's a large similarity between marine engineering and mechanical engineering. So I went with mechanical engineering when I got here.
So I know for a fact that mechanical engineers are always in demand, like always in demand. They are incredibly well paid for what they do because it's obviously a highly skilled job. Did any of those sort of factors come into play with looking at pursuing that as a career? Okay.
Yes. Especially over here. Over here, I thought of giving it a shot as an engineer because it was very obvious there's more opportunities that where I came from.
Mm-hmm.
Even in Saudi, there was definitely a little bit more opportunities over here for me. And as a mechanical engineer, you're on the urge of learning almost most of the disciplines.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then specialize in mechanical. So when you learn a little bit more of everything, you have a good base to start with. And I guess that's kind of what motivates me to go with it. It's a little bit harder than the other disciplines, I would say, because we kind of like compare papers with each other. Yeah, and I think, definitely, I know my strength and my weaknesses around which disciplines I would go with and how to work with it. And that was quite very like good to me, and it was interesting because as a swimmer you focus on a couple of things at the same time.
Yeah,
and as a mechanical engineer you got a couple of things going on that you need to consider at the same time. So yes, that's the story.
How far through your study are you?
I've got 1 more year to go after this.
And you're already on sites and working and
helping? I just scored an internship with a construction company called ACOM.
Mm-hmm.
Very grateful, and I got accepted with a scholarship with the Keystone Trust, and they're incredible people. So yeah.
At what point do you think you've achieved enough? You're very good at achieving.
Not yet. I'm not done yet. I think personally, I have personal goals. I have family goals, and I definitely have short-term and long-term goals. So you have to keep yourself occupied. That's the rule for me, because I think my parents have spent a lot of their time looking after us and sacrificed a lot of their happiness and good times for me and my brother. And I think I won't calm down until I kind of feel that I gave them back some of what they have given me in my whole life. And that's my family goal. I want to bring stability to the family. It's a little bit tough with the whole situation that we're in. So yeah, that will kind of keep me going the whole time, whether in swimming or uni or anything. And then to that, when you're doing something well, people start looking up to you. And some of my swimmers look up to me, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to disappoint that person. You see what I mean?
It's not so much the hero worship that you enjoy; it's the way that other people are inspired by what you do.
Yes, because you can always give a better example, and that kind of keeps you on your toes. Like, you're humble of who you are. You keep on feeling that, okay, I need to become a better person. How can I become a better person? I'm not satisfied with just me at the moment right now. I want to become better. How do I get better? So you're always searching for something, I would think, different, and or another way to inspire people, and that alone keeps me going.
That's a lot to keep you going.
I know. Yes, that's why you take the bike and you go and you come back with a smile.
Exactly,
because
you got to keep.
You
got
got a
keep
lot to be grateful
it.
for. You have a lot to be grateful for.
To actually have a drive to help people out, to get the most out of what they can bring to the table, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely, yes, absolutely. And you actually you just said something that is really important, and people kind of oblivious about it. You know, all these motivational speeches and stuff like that, they'd be like, oh, do this, do that, do that. Okay, you need to specialize, or like put a slot of time of your day to look after yourself.
Yeah.
Am I proud of what I did? Am I happy with it? Did I look after my body well? Did I look after my mindset well? What happened to me during this day? It's not selfish. It's not being self-absorbed or anything. It's actually you're maintaining yourself to be ready for tomorrow, so you can go and you can do better.
Do you find it as somebody coming into the country that's looking after yourself is something that Kiwis see as selfish? Like it's not actually selfish to look after yourself, but the Kiwi mindset that I've come across has always felt like putting yourself first feels like the wrong thing to do, because you feel selfish, even if it's looking after yourself for other people. It just doesn't quite sit right.
I don't really know. I haven't gone in depth with that with people around here. It's it's a little bit different for me, because it's kind of hard to make friends around here. Because I'm not at uni the whole time. Because once I finish, I come back for my training, and in training, I'm not training with a squad. So I don't have that interaction, before and after training. So I don't really know for people like my age and stuff, like how do they look at it. I don't have a clear idea, but I think I think some people just ignore the fact that they need to look after themselves, and they kind of turn their head away to the other side, because they think once I start do that, then I'll start feeling bad about myself, or I'll start get bad ideas and start get my insecurities out, which is I don't know if that was true or not. And if they were looking at it this way, it's fair enough. But to me, I don't find it difficult, absolutely at all. Like, I would tell myself off at the same time. I will give myself the praise over something else. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well done, do a little dance. And then sometimes they're like, oh, no, I wish you didn't do it. Yeah, what were you thinking?
Why were you dancing? Come on.
Yes, absolutely. Like, what the hell is that?
But dancing is huge these days. Like, you could be a TikTok star or an Instagram reel star with dancing.
Oh my god, man! Me and technology, I just do not cope well. If I actually had, like, the patience to have a TikTok and put videos, I think I would have gone viral, like, long time ago.
Oh yeah,
long time ago. Because all my friends around me, like, there's a group of us, 3 of us were swimmers. And once we take a shot or a video or something, I'm the craziest one out of all of them. Yeah. At the same time, I'm the nerdy one, and I'm the one who had the biggest responsibilities in life and what's not. And then I'm the one who's acting out like as the crazy guy. So I wish I had that. And
it's not too late.
I'll give it a shot.
Good.
Paul.
Good. So one of the questions I've been asking everybody as well: what tips would you give to people out there who are having a few issues with getting through lockdown like that? Do you have any sort of tips for people to try and help them through this sort of situation?
Well, the first thing is get a routine. You have to get a routine. You have to stick to it. You can't take it easy. You gotta just discipline yourself a little bit to stick to a certain routine. Because once it changed too much, you will start feeling a little bit disturbed, and that will bring you down. That's number one. Number two, find new interesting things. Once you do something new and then you do it better, this is a good feeling. So chase that. And then the third thing, plan for what's after. So what's after, to me, I'm like, I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to do that. I got a couple of things that I want to, get started with after the lockdown, and that will keep you excited and a little bit more organized and productive. So yeah, and it doesn't matter what happens. Just always be positive. Play a silly song and dance to it. That kind of brings joy. If you're living with family or flatmates or stuff like that, you be the one who's bringing this positive energy in, because it irradiates, Paul, like you wouldn't believe it. Once I come in hyped as hell, everybody gets happy. You know what I mean? And that's what you want. That's what you want. You want to go through it feeling good, and the people around you to feel good, and the people around you to feel good to have you in the same bubble as them.
That's fantastic advice. Thank you. It's just
no, man. I think for me, I'll say get on with pranking people. Don't take it to the extreme, but it's good to have that banter going on. Like just a little bit of action.
Have fun with it.
Have fun with it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Have fun with it. I've been going out here and taking a walks and stuff, and where we come like next to each other, like across the roads, I'll just say, "Hey guys, how you doing?" And everybody is very nice and cheerful once you do that. And it doesn't take much. It's just, "Hello guys, how's it going?"
Yeah.
And it actually makes an effect. So once you see that you actually made someone's life better in some kind, that brings you a little bit of joy.
That is very cool. Thank you very much for that. Thank Eyad for taking time out of his day to sit down and have a chat with me. I realise fronting to the media is always a difficult thing for some people to do, but honestly I find him so inspiring. Somebody who has worked so hard to achieve his goals and continuously sets new goals for himself is always an amazing thing to see. If you want to follow Eyad on social media, there's some links down below in the description. He's also just downloaded TikTok, but I don't have the link for that one yet, and I don't know if I'm brave enough to ask him. Don't forget to stick around and watch some more interview videos that we've got up here, and feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment on this one. Until next time, have a great day.